It was the fall of 1932, and I, Detective Benjamin Harper, received a chilling call at the Ravenswood police station. Mrs. Eleanor Turner, the elderly caretaker of the infamous mansion on Elmwood Avenue, reported strange and terrifying occurrences. Despite my skepticism, her desperate tone convinced me that something sinister was afoot. The rain poured relentlessly as I ventured towards the mansion, my car's headlights cutting through the thick fog that enveloped Elmwood Avenue. The old mansion, a gloomy silhouette in the darkness, seemed to emanate an eerie energy that sent shivers down my spine. The clock struck midnight as I approached the mansion's imposing gates. The iron hinges groaned in protest as I pushed them open, revealing the overgrown garden leading to the front entrance. The distant howls of the wind only added to the foreboding atmosphere. Stepping inside the mansion, I was greeted by an overpowering, musty scent, the result of years of neglect. My flashlight cast faint beams on the peeling wallpaper and dusty furniture, creating dancing shadows that seemed to be hiding secrets of their own. As I delved deeper into the mansion, each step seemed to resonate with a history of dread. The date inscribed on the decaying walls indicated that the mansion had been abandoned for over a century. I couldn't help but wonder about the tragedies that had unfolded within its walls. In a forgotten corner of the mansion, I stumbled upon an old wooden chest covered in cobwebs. Within it lay a stack of yellowed letters tied with a faded blue ribbon. As I carefully unfolded the first letter, the delicate handwriting revealed the name Isabella Whittaker. Isabella's words painted a haunting picture of her experiences within the mansion. Her family had moved here in the late 1800s, seeking a fresh start, but what they found was a malevolent spirit named Theodore, who tormented them night after night. Through Isabella's letters, I discovered the tragic fate that befell her family. Theodore's sinister presence grew stronger each day, driving them to the brink of madness. Isabella's pleas for help turned into desperate cries of despair as she struggled to break free from the entity's clutches. I couldn't escape the feeling that Isabella's spirit was still trapped within these walls. Her pain and fear seemed to linger, resonating in the eerie silence of the mansion. Part 3. Professor Hartman's Reckless Experiments. As my investigation continued, I stumbled upon an old journal hidden beneath a floorboard. The name Professor Samuel Hartman adorned its worn cover, revealing that the professor had been an esteemed occultist of his time. Professor Hartman's journal chronicled his experiments to understand and control the supernatural entities within the mansion. His arrogance and curiosity had led him to dabble in dark rituals and forbidden knowledge. With each page, I could sense the professor's growing obsession with the malevolent entity. The dates in the journal aligned with the time of Isabella's torment, suggesting that the professor's misguided experiments had triggered the curse that plagued the mansion. The realization that the professor's actions had set these events into motion weighed heavily on me. I knew that Theodore's malevolence had to be stopped, but it seemed that confronting this ancient curse would be no simple task. Part 4. The sinister confrontation. Armed with the knowledge from Isabella's letters and Professor Hartman's journal, I made my way to the basement, a place that seemed to exude an even darker energy than the rest of the mansion. The ritual circle etched on the floor revealed the extent of the professor's misguided experiments. As I prepared to perform the incantation that would weaken Theodore's power, the air grew colder, and the very walls seemed to vibrate with the malevolence that lay within. With the letters, the journal, and my unyielding resolve, I began the incantation. As the words left my lips, a spectral figure materialized before me, the tormented spirit of Isabella Whittaker. She appeared as a pale, ethereal form, her eyes pleading for release. In a haunting whisper, Isabella recounted the horrors she had endured and how her family had suffered at the hands of Theodore. She was trapped between the realms, unable to find peace. Gathering my courage, I refused to back down. I called upon the spirits of Isabella and Professor Hartman to join me in breaking the curse. Together, we confronted the malevolent entity that had terrorized the mansion for centuries. Theodore's rage manifested as a swirling vortex of darkness, reaching out to consume us. But we stood united, holding on to the belief that the power of the living could triumph over the forces of the supernatural. With a surge of energy, we recited the final verses of the incantation. The walls shook, and the mansion seemed to tremble, as if the very fabric of time was being unraveled. As the incantation reached its crescendo, the blinding light filled the basement, and the malevolent presence of Theodore waned. Isabella and Professor Hartman seemed to be at peace, their tortured spirits finally finding solace. As the light faded, I found myself alone in the basement once more. The oppressive atmosphere had lifted, and the mansion was now silent, as if the horrors of the past had been exorcised. As dawn approached, the first rays of sunlight peeked through the mansion's dusty windows. I stepped outside, feeling the weight of the night's events slowly lift from my shoulders. Word of the haunting on Elmwood Avenue spread like wildfire, becoming one of Ravenswood's most legendary tales. The mansion remained abandoned, but the spirits within had finally found peace, and Elmwood Avenue was no longer shrouded in fear. The legend of the haunting on Elmwood Avenue had come to a close, but its memory would live on, serving as a reminder of the enduring power of bravery and the darkness that could be conquered by the light. Months had passed since my encounter with the malevolent spirit. The mansion on Elmwood Avenue had become a popular topic of discussion in Ravenswood, with people sharing stories of hauntings and supernatural occurrences. As the town's interest grew, so did the tales surrounding the mansion. Local historians and paranormal enthusiasts delved into the dark history of Elmwood Avenue, unearthing old newspaper articles and reports that shed light on the tragedies that had occurred there. Some claimed to have seen apparitions in the mansion's windows, while others reported hearing strange sounds echoing through its halls. Elmwood Avenue became a magnet for thrill seekers and ghost hunters, each hoping to capture evidence of the paranormal. Despite the growing fascination with the haunted mansion, I couldn't help but feel a sense of responsibility. The events that transpired that night had left a mark on me, and I couldn't simply ignore the lingering presence of the supernatural. Determined to uncover the truth behind the haunting, I delved into the town's archives. I combed through dusty records, newspapers, and old journals, hoping to find any clue that could shed light on the history of Elmwood Avenue. In a forgotten section of the library, I stumbled upon a collection of books about local legends and folklore. One particular book caught my attention, The Enigmatic Secrets of Ravenswood, by an author named Arthur Wilkins. The book contained detailed accounts of supernatural occurrences in Ravenswood, including the legend of Elmwood Avenue. According to the book, the mansion was once the residence of a wealthy family, the Whitakers, who were rumored to have practiced occult rituals. One passage spoke of a dark ritual conducted by Professor Samuel Hartman, an occultist who had been obsessed with unlocking the secrets of the afterlife. It was said that his reckless experiments had awakened an ancient evil that had been dormant within the mansion. The more I read, the clearer the pieces of the puzzle fell into place. The tragedies that had befallen the Whitaker family, the tormented spirit of Isabella, and the malevolent entity known as Theodore, it was all connected to the dark history of Elmwood Avenue. With newfound information, I sought the help of a team of paranormal investigators. Though they lacked modern high-tech equipment, they brought with them their knowledge of the supernatural and a genuine passion for uncovering the truth. Together, we spent nights within the mansion, armed with simple tools like candles, lanterns, and notebooks. We documented every strange occurrence and unexplained phenomenon, relying on our senses and intuition to guide us. The mansion had become a playground for the spirits, and we were mere guests in their realm. Our investigations revealed a tapestry of torment, the residual energy of past tragedies that had left an indelible mark on the mansion's walls. Each night, we presented our findings to the town, sharing our experiences and accounts of ghostly encounters. Elmwood Avenue was now known far and wide as one of the most haunted locations in the country. As we continued our investigations, we stumbled upon more evidence of Professor Samuel Hartman's reckless experiments. His journals contained detailed accounts of his attempts to communicate with the spirit world after seeking forbidden knowledge that would grant him power. It became apparent that the professor's curiosity had blinded him to the dangers of the supernatural. His arrogance had inadvertently unleashed a malevolent force that had plagued Elmwood Avenue for generations. The discovery of the professor's actions shed new light on the haunting, providing a deeper understanding of the curse that had ensnared the mansion. We realized that undoing the curse would require more than just confronting the malevolent entity. We needed to delve into the very source of the curse itself. As we delved deeper into the professor's journals, we discovered references to a powerful ritual that might hold the key to breaking the curse. It was a risky endeavor, one that required immense knowledge of the occult and the courage to face the unknown. With the help of a renowned occultist, we prepared to perform the ritual. The date was set, and the stage was set for a night of reckoning. The mansion seemed to anticipate our actions. The walls groaned, and the air grew heavy with an electric charge. As we gathered in the basement, the presence of the supernatural was palpable. As the clock struck midnight, we began the ritual. Incantations filled the air, the ancient words vibrating with power. The walls trembled, and the mansion seemed to come alive with spectral energy. Theodore's malevolence surged, pushing back against our efforts. Shadows danced around us, and the very fabric of reality seemed to bend and twist. But we persisted, drawing upon our collective strength and belief. The spirits of Isabella Whitaker and Professor Hartman joined our circle, their ethereal presence lending us their strength. The darkness clashed with the light as the ritual reached its climax. A blinding light enveloped the basement, and the mansion trembled as if caught in the throes of a cosmic battle. In that moment, I felt a connection to the spirits of the past and the souls that had suffered within these walls. The weight of their torment became my burden, and with determination, I pushed back against Theodore's malevolence. As the light dissipated, I felt a profound sense of relief. The mansion was still, the malevolent energy banished from its confines. The curse that had plagued Elmwood Avenue for over a century had been broken. The spirits of Isabella Whitaker and Professor Hartman appeared before us one last time. Their eyes held a mixture of pain and relief, as if they were finally finding solace. With a gentle smile, Isabella thanked us for our bravery and determination. She spoke of a newfound peace that had eluded her for so long. As the first rays of dawn approached, we stepped out of the mansion. The morning sun bathed Elmwood Avenue in a warm glow. The horror that had plagued the town for generations had come to an end, thanks to our resolve to confront the darkest of nightmares. word of the haunting on Elmwood Avenue spread like wildfire, becoming one of Ravenswood's most legendary tales. The mansion remained abandoned, but the spirits within had finally found peace, and Elmwood Avenue was no longer shrouded in fear. The legend of the haunting on Elmwood Avenue had come to a close, but its memory would live on. And so, I continued my duties as a detective, knowing that I had faced something beyond the realm of the ordinary. The tale of the haunting on Elmwood Avenue became my most famous case, recounted to eager audiences on my YouTube channel and in local ghost stories.